I know this isn't my usual video, but I'm here to talk to you about how maps were made back when they didn't have planes or satellites. Before planes and satellites, maps were made by surveying land on foot or horseback, and using tools like compasses and theodolites and chains to measure distances and angles. Cartographers would then create a map by drawing it by hand, using the measurements and observations they have gathered. This process was time-consuming and often resulted in less accurate maps than we have today. Contrary to popular belief that maps depict places, rivers, and roads, the earliest maps were actually representations of the night sky. More precisely, they were visual representations of the night sky observations that people have made. In 1963, in Turkey, a cave painting was discovered that had been drawn around 6,200 BC in Catalhuyuk in Anatolia. I don't really know what that is. The painting illustrated in a town this painting illustrated a town with streets, houses, and a volcano. Would you call this a cave painting or attempt at cartography? It remains unclear whether this illustration was a map or a mere painting. The many scientists have tried to decipher the mystery. However, this means that we, as a species, were keen to represent what we saw, which is what I believe led us to draw maps. The first known map from Babylon is from Babylon and was made in 6000 BC on a clay tablet. It represents the interpretation of the world known to man at that time. There are multiple speculations about the map. Some think that the map was meant to represent mythological places, which in the Babylonians believed. Others believe that the map actually does represent the ancient world, as this map uniquely illustrates the land beyond seas. Unlike the other maps of this period, it would concentrate only on the place it was meant to. It was made. It also speculated It is also speculated that the map was a way to determine how to route the surplus agricultural production. The actual intent behind the map is still disputed. But the map gives us insight because it accurately represents the nearby cities and topography. The evolution of map making techniques. Also, Also, these are also the first thing I was saying was made by chatgpt, and this is and all I'm saying reading right now is now ScienceABC. The evolution of map making techniques. In the olden days, maps were just a pictorial representation of a singular place, like the 600 BC map. The Babylonians made. Most maps were of a single place, like its topography in the nearby roads and cities. These maps were a mix of information from travelers' accounts, science hypotheses, literature, and reports from navigators. Anaximander, the first cartographer. A world map didn't come around until the 5th century. Anaximander, the first cartographer to make a representation of the world at the time. The original map does not survive, but for Dutch's description, it was a circular map. It was a circular map where land was enclosed by a water body. The habitable Greece was in the center, along with Mediterranean Sea. But northern part was Europe and southern past Asia. It was nothing very specific, but still quite impressive. From that point on, maps only became more detailed and as more and more areas were explored and written about in the maps. These maps still follow the same pattern of being circular, surrounded by sea on all sides, but these maps had more details about Asia and Europe. Here's a picture. Here is one. Okay. Map making was not restricted to the Greeks. The Chinese also made maps on silk and wooden blocks that date back to the 4th century. In the 3rd century, Arachnonetes successfully calculated the circumference of the Earth and established the Earth was actually spherical, not flat. This discovery also led to subsequent changes in the field of cartography. The Greeks used stayed as the measure of distance. It was popular to hire bimetallists, people who counted the distance between two places by traveling the distance on foot. The time taken by people to travel between places used as a measure of distance. All of this data gradually helped people to know the size and distance of particular places. Triangulation, a mathematical.
Since you like Mario and stuff, you know what I had actual correct.
Can you please just stop it? I'm making a video.
Oh my god.
Triangulation, a mathematical technique to measure distances. It might surprise you if I said that map making technique was connected to more mathematics than geography during ancient times. But it's true. Map making was inherently an art that used mathematical methods like triangulation. You know angles and distances between places. It was possible to calculate the distance between them. This is the most commonly used technique during those times. The method of triangulation is still used today, but in a far more sophisticated way. Edwards' map. Edwards also developed a grid that helped him locate places. He designed a line passing through a road the roads, the pillars of Hercules, present-day Gibraltar, and one chief lines of its grid. Those lines divided the world into two fairly equal parts. He defined the longest east-west extension known. He drew a line through the roads and the main axis for north-south grid lines. Then he drew 7 parallel lines to both main axes, which formed a rectangular grid. With the grid's help, he was able to locate places on the first world's map. And this is...
Did you remove Facebook from my phone?
Yes.
No, you didn't actually do that.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
You know that I'm on the Facebook phone.
You can just get it back. Okay. I guess I guess I'm finishing the video then. Bye.